Hey, greetings, everyone. Glenn Kellaway from the basement. It is Thursday afternoon. I am just back from a 2 day trip to Kingston, Ontario. I went with my wife and I. We went away for a couple days getaway. We celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary yesterday, so it was kind of cool. So we just thought we'd go beautiful little city of Kingston, which is about an hour east of us. Stayed for a couple of days, went for some nice meals, shopped around. Of course, where am I going to shop but a record store? There's this place in Kingston called Brian's Record Option, I think he calls it. It's been around since the 80s, I think. And Brian's like, he's, an old timer like me. He's probably around 70 or early 70s. And he has his record store with over 100,000 titles in it. And that's not an exaggeration. It's probably double that. It's just when you walk in, it's just, you have no idea. So I was looking for some bluegrass stuff. And I know where to find his bluegrass albums. It's a jungle in there, man. But I know where the bluegrass albums are, and I'm looking through them. And then I asked, "Do you have any bluegrass CDs?" And he goes, "Yeah, in the back here." And I had to get up on this little footstool and climb up and look through stuff, and I found some CDs. Then he said, "Did you look through the bluegrass vinyl?" I said, "Yeah, I looked through it." He says, "Did you look through the other stuff?" And I went, "No, I just know that area, right?" And he goes, "Well, I ended up picking up a collection from a state, and it was all bluegrass stuff." He says, "I put it over here," and he brings me over, and there's probably 100 albums. And so I'm down on my hands and knees looking through all these records. I found 3 records, 4 CDs. So I'm going to show them to you right now. First of all, I want to point something out. I'm wearing a Stelling banjo hat. I found this in my hat collection in the closet. Now, Stelling banjos were really amazing banjos. They made a lot of models. A Red Fox, which was named after Bill Emerson, a Stelling Bellflower, which I owned, a Staghorn, which is where this symbol came from of the moose, and a few others. And they were really top-notch banjos and went out of business a few years ago. But I found my hat. This is probably a pretty rare piece of banjo memorabilia here, so I've been wearing it. It's kind of cool. Anyway, let's get started with the albums. I'll show you my CDs first. Um, I never find some of this stuff on CD kicking around. I don't know. I don't. You can get anything on Discogs. I don't. You know what? Discogs ruins the whole experience for me. I like digging and finding stuff. Discogs is too easy. Like it takes the thrill out of being a music lover, or collector, whatever you want to call yourselves. So I found it at JD Crow. I mean, as soon as I see JD, I'm buying it. And I don't own this one. My home ain't in the Hall of Fame. JD Crow, still sealed. Still sealed. He sold me to this for $10. Um, Very excited to hear this. He's got. They do some cool songs on here. "I'm Not Your Stepping Stone," the Monkees song. They also do "She's Gone, 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 Gone," "Railroad Lady," which is, I think, a Jerry Jeff Walker song. "Sin City," Graham Parsons. That's the ones I know. So, yeah, I haven't even opened this yet. So it's pretty cool. Next, big Jens Kruger fan. If you play the banjo, I mean, Jens is if you want to hear some just beautiful music, check out Jens Kruger's album "The Bridge." It's just gorgeous. It's not a bluegrass album. It's all these beautiful melodies and everything. Jens is just an amazing player. He just has such a touch, and he's so incredible. Anyway, I do have a couple of Kruger brother albums, but I found this comp, so I thought, I gotta pick it up. It was like $8 or something. But the best of the Kruger brothers. That's Jens right there. His brother Uwe, I think they call it. It's UWE, and I can't remember the Joel. Somebody I think is Joel Landsberg. Um, they do kind of cool stuff on here. Black Mountain Rag, People Get Ready. Choices is a beautiful song. Long Black Veil, Alabama Bound. Um, cool stuff. Next, I got to see these guys in the 70s. So blessed to see them. Legendary band from Washington, D.C., the Seldom Scene. They really modernized bluegrass. They were totally respectful of traditional stuff, but they started to incorporate a lot of more modern songs into a bluegrass thing, like "City of New Orleans" and the song "Rider." I know you, Rider, gonna miss. It's a Grateful Dead ended up being a staple for them. So anyway, I have this on vinyl. I've never been able to find it on CD, and so happy to do so. Live at the Cellar Door. This is such a freaking great live album. Oh man, just love it. So again, sealed, still sealed. Next, one more CD I got from there, a kind of a jammy band, bluegrass band. I don't own any of their stuff and was looking for something, and I was shocked that I found it. The infamous String Dusters, Let It Go. I was listening to this in the car a little bit. Oh man, I loved it. So very cool. The String Dusters, and finally, I went to a excuse me, a used record store, a used CD movie store called Chumley's. They have one in close to us in Belleville that we go to quite often, but they also have a location in Kingston. I found out, and I found this Earl Scruggs' son Randy. Randy Scruggs' album. I bought it for like $5. I've never heard this. It's called Crown of Jewels. Now Randy has some guest artists on here with him. He does Soldier's Joy, which is a great old fiddle tune with Vince Gill. It's Only Love with Mary Chapin Carpenter. Now, I wonder if that's the Beatles tune, It's Only Love. Uh, Another song with Trisha Yearwood. That kind of, and then Amy with Travis Tritt. Now, Amy, what you want to do, I wish. I love that song. He does a couple songs with Bruce Hornsby. He does City of New Orleans with John Prine. Wildwood Flower with Emmylou Harris and Iris DeMint. That's got to be amazing. Lonesome Reuben with Earl, his dad, and Jerry Douglas. How good's that going to be? Passing Through with Joan Osborne. My Secret Life with Roseanne Cash. Crown of Jewels with Bruce Hornsby again. And then his instrumental version of Joni Mitchell's Both Sides Now, which is also on the incredible Will the Circle Be Unbroken album. So that might be interesting. I'm sure there's going to be a couple of tracks I don't like, but I think there's going to be enough stuff on there that makes it pretty interesting. Now, vinyl. First of all, I'm probably going to introduce you to a guy you wouldn't know unless you're from the southern Ontario, Canada area. But when I first started getting interested in this music in the when I bought my first banjo in the kind of mid 70s, there was a bluegrass band around. Canada's most famous bluegrass band was the Dixie Flyers. Now, got to see the Dixie Flyers a lot. They were great. And their banjo player by the name of Dennis LePage right there. So Dennis was the first banjo player I got to see play live. So he was kind of, my guy, because you could see him around. And then Dennis left the Dixie Flyers, and he started a band called Dennis LePage and Station Road, who are great. So if you ever can find these records, if you're in the U.S. at all, they're on Boot Records. They're really good bluegrass albums, Dixie Flyers or Station Road. But anyway, Dennis released solo albums, instrumental albums. And I used to have them back in the day, and I don't know how many of these records would have sold back in the day, but I wanted to get them back, and I have been looking forever and ever and ever, and I found them at this Brian's record store. I found the two of them. Dennis LePage, Larger Than Life. Dennis does 9-Pound Hammer on this, Ground Speed, John Henry, a few songs. There's a lot of the guys from Dixie Flyers playing on this with him, but this is an excellent album, and this was my favorite one. It's got a few like tape on it and stuff like that, but the record's in mint condition. Looks like it's never been played. Show you, it's even in some kind of a poly sleeve, but I mean, just absolutely like brand new. I swear to God. Again, Boot Records. So this record, I love this album. He does kicks it off. What am I looking at here? There's a song called Arab Bounce, which is a Jimmy Martin song, which is frickin' awesome. I Want a Girl. He does the old like I want a girl just like the girl that married. Doing it as a banjo instrumental. Stompin' at Decca, the great Django Reinhardt song, which is my favorite track on the album. He does a beautiful version of Over the Rainbow. Does Maple Sugar, great um, uh, fiddle tune, and Fireball Mail. Fantastic stuff. Last but not least, I saved the best for last. One of my favorite banjo players of all time, one of my favorite albums of all time, Bill Keith. Now, Bill's a legend in the banjo world and bluegrass world. Bill was a member of the Bluegrass Boys with Bill Monroe. What Bill did was he wanted to play fiddle tunes and he wanted to play them note for note. So he started to develop. I think there might have been other people working on the same style at the same time, but Bill's kind of synonymous with melodic style banjo playing. Man, I've had a cold for 2 months. So anyway, my apologies. Um, Bill, he developed a style, melodic style banjo playing, where he could play fiddle tunes note for note along with the fiddle. And really, the secret to this melodic line is you never play the same string twice in a row, and you play a lot of open strings. It's interesting to learn. I can play a little bit. I play a few songs. Anyway, Bill put out this album called something old, something newgrass, something borrowed, something bluegrass, and it is a fantastic record. Fantastic! I couldn't believe it. I have this on CD, and I had the album back in the day, but haven't. I've been looking for it forever, and was so happy to find this. Unbelievable. Rounder Records, Bill Keith. He does a version of the Rolling Stones' "No Expectations" on this, which is incredible. He does a Duke Ellington song called "Caravan" on here. Old a version of "Old Lang Syne," "Farewell Blues." Oh man, just an incredible record. One of my favorite bluegrass-related albums of all time. So happy to find that. Anyway, I got a wealth of cool stuff this time. I'm so excited. So I hope everyone let me know what you think. And please subscribe to my channel. Please start watching, participate, leave some comments. I would really appreciate it. I just have a passion for this music and I just want to share it. That's all. Um, Everyone have a great day. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to do. Thanks so much. Take care.